Welcome. My name is Colleen Tauke and I'm the sewing specialist with Vaughan & Porter. In this video tutorial, we'll show you how to put together the blocks for the quilt called Woodland Blooms. If you want to download or get a hold of this pattern, please go to our website. Okay, this quilt is made with pre-cut 2.5 inch strips of bright colors, as you can see, and one consistent background of a bright apple green. Okay, from those strips, you're going to follow your instructions in your pattern of how many squares and rectangles to cut from each strip. Because as you cut from those, you're creating the actual petals of each of the blooms. So once you've cut all the strips, the squares and the rectangles you need, we're going to be creating a diagonal seams method with a little twist to it. So what we're going to do is take a background rectangle fabric, and we're going to take one of the bright color prints that's going to be our bloom, and we're going to mark across this fabric using a 1/4 inch seam marker. Now usually we're using this in a little bit different way, so follow me. We're going to place the tool with the outside edge going from corner to corner diagonally across. Normally we would set it so the yellow line goes corner to corner. But follow me, we're going offset to one side. So we're going to mark that side, and then the other. The reason why is that we are going to salvage, instead of throwing away these little triangles, we're going to use them for the pieced outer border of our quilt. So now you've seen I've marked these. This is how I'm going to stitch. So you can see the diagonal corner to corner. So as we take it over to the machine, we're going to sew right on our marked line. And this gets to be really kind of fun sewing. Sometimes we don't always have the amount of time to sew that we want, and it gets late in the evening. Well, if you're sewing on the pencil line, you can sew when you're tired. You can follow the line. Okay, so then we're going to come in and we're going to open this up just like we would for any other diagonal seams method, like this. Same here. And we need 4 units like that for our bloom. So we have 4 of them. But remember that extra seam we put along there? We're going to go in. You can use a rotary cutter, but you can also use the scissors. You're going to trim away 1/4 inch seam allowance there on these blocks. And then you're going to take the small little triangles that are already matched up, and you're going to open those and press those also, because you're going to use 4 of them later. And if you think about it, 1, 2, 3, 4, you've got 4 of these in from making these units for one pinwheel block later. Okay, so we've got that part of our bloom constructed. And if you look at this piece, you'll notice it's the same print, except instead of it as a square, this time it's one of the rectangles. So we would need to make 4 units. Same method, diagonal seams. And you'll see that underneath each of these, again, we have that spare block. So we can come in, take off 4 of those. And when we've got done making those, we'll have more pieces for our pinwheels. Okay, now we have all the pieces constructed that go into our block. So now it's all about layout. And we'll leave these to the side. We'll start in the center. And each of the blooms has the chocolate brown in the center. And then it's about placement. And this is where it can get confusing, but you just have to kind of keep your wits about you. Making sure you go back to those diagrams. We put in great diagrams into our patterns so that each thing that you're constructing, you can just follow right along. Okay, that there. Then the next piece drops in like this. Inevitably, we do put things together, sometimes a little wonky. If you are making a block and you wonder, something doesn't seem quite right, it's time to take a break, walk away from the block and come back. Because when you come back, you're going to see where your error is right away. It's strange, but our eye can pick out when the pattern doesn't repeat. So if you take a break from it, step back, And the other trick, of course, is to use the camera on your phone, take a quick little picture, and you'll see it real quick. So there's the block. Now, to construct that, we will come in and make rows. So we would join these two pieces and these two, and then create a row here. Then join these two rectangles to the center and make a row here. And then along the top, join, 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 all the way across. Then just join your rows and you've got a bloom. Now remember we talked about those little triangles that we were making and keeping for later? Well, that's where those little triangles that you had, we should trim a couple more so we can talk and show the whole thing. No matter which piece you take it off of, you're going to have mated a green and a print. So they're all usable to make a little pinwheels. Great way to use all these little pieces. You're going to join 4 of them together. Now the trick is that when you're done, because we all have just a little bit of uniqueness in our piecing skills, you will want to go back. The instructions will tell you to go back and there's one more, it got away from me. You're going to size these small pinwheels to 3 inches because there could be a bit of variation in them, but make a pinwheel block. Whoops, twist around and twist one more time. There we go. Those are those small little pinwheel blocks, and you'll find them in the outer border of assorted colors trimmed down. Now on each side of those you will find spacer blocks. Follow the instructions for putting together that outer border. There is one more component to look at, and that's the inner border of the bright colors that join together between the blooms and the outer border. And those are just joined with the diagonal seams the same way that you would make binding. That ends this tutorial. For more of them, visit our website. Thanks for joining me.